My name is Jeremy Devins of QuietMind.Yoga, and this is the Relieve Tension from Head to Toe series. And right now we're going to focus on the neck and shoulders, some of the most common areas of stress and tension. If you're sitting a lot, working on devices, just look at people in public when they're out in line, waiting in line at the store. They're usually in some sort of rounded back, pushed forward head position. And the physical therapists that I work with say we're actually almost evolving in that direction where we're all using our devices so much that we're going to be seeing a lot more of these kind of issues in the years to come, and we're already seeing a lot of them. So how do we address it? Well, we want to understand the movements that are possible in this area of the neck and shoulders, and then move in those directions to relieve tension. And not just move in those directions, not just stretch. This is a common mistake that many people make, a mistake that I made for years, having neck and shoulder tension, thinking if I just stretch it, it will be less tight. Because if it's tight, it must need to be lengthened. That's not actually how muscles work. So the key is that we need to be able to contract the muscle. And oftentimes when it's tense or you're feeling tension in your neck and shoulders, the muscles are weak. And we can't just go right into stretching them because they're already tender and sensitive. And instead, what we can do is activate them and contract them. And this will activate something called the Golgi tendon organ, which essentially says, okay, the muscle is strong and active and I've got control of it. It's not weak, it's not tender, it's strong. So I can let it relax more. And I have the safety to be able to stretch it more. And that being able to stretch a muscle requires that essentially that your muscles feel strong and safe. Because if you think of evolutionarily, we want to be able to run from predators, to chase prey, to be able to reach and run around and grab things. We're not doing that in our day-to-day life most of the time, but our muscles need to be able to be strong before they're flexible. And if we're just stretching without doing the strengthening and the activation, it's not going to work. So let's do that. To relieve tension in the neck and shoulders, we're going to look at movements of the neck and shoulders in a really brief, simple practice you can do along with me right now. And this is an example of something I teach inside of the Quiet Mind Yoga membership, but let's do it right here. So you just want to find a comfortable position to be in. You can be sitting at a desk or chair. I like to sit up on a blanket. I've got this yoga blanket I'm going to sit on here under the tail. So that puts a little bit of a slight pelvic tilt in my lower back. It's a slight arching of the lower back, very small. So I'm leaning forward just a little bit. That makes it easier to sit longer. I'm just sitting in this sort of cross-legged position. If that doesn't work for you, you can do this sitting in a chair because we're going to focus up here today. So first thing we want to explore is elevation of the shoulders and depression of the shoulders. Right? So just lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then down away from your ears. So this is one of the actions of the shoulders, elevation and depression. Usually you'll hear that as shrugging or unshrugging the shoulders in yoga classes. Another action is that your chin can lower towards your chest. This is neck flexion, and your chin can raise towards the ceiling. This is cervical extension. So we're talking about the cervical spine, the neck spine. So chin towards the chest, chin towards the ceiling. That's one of the movements. Notice how it feels. It's a little tight or limited for you right now. That's okay. We'll work on that. Now you can have cervical rotation, just turning your head left to right, as if you were saying no. That's another movement. And then we can make circles to a degree. So sort of half circle down, half circle up. So drawing a letter O with the nose. That's another movement we can explore. And a little bit of a lateral flexion. So ear towards the shoulder on one side and then towards the other. And this is often a little easier if your chin is a little lowered. So ear towards the shoulder, lateral flexion. So we're going to explore those movements. There's other shoulder movements. We're just going to explore these ones today because they're all relevant to this area we're working with. So to activate that Golgi tendon organ, to get the muscle to contract so it's able to release, bring your hand to your forehead, face palm, chin towards the chest, and try to lower your chin towards your chest, but you're blocking it with your hand. So there's this equal resistance here. If I took my hand away, the chin lowers. If I move my head, my hand will move back. So chin towards the chest, resisting, and we'll hold that a few breaths. So just keep that tension. You want to feel like your muscles in the back of your neck are tensing up, and there's some tension there. So we're actually creating more tension to release tension. This is a common misunderstanding about how the muscles work that took me years to learn in my own practice and studies, but it works so much better than just stretching. So hold this tension, keep it active, hold that resistance. Now we'll let it go and bring the hand behind the head. Try to lift your chin, try to move your head back, but you're blocking it with your hand. And there is a movement here that's like a neck retraction and protraction. We're doing this sort of retraction, sort of pulling the head back here into the hand. You can do this with two hands. It's very difficult to do too much resistance here. So your own body will not be able to hurt your neck here doing this. So just keep pushing the head back and resisting with the hands. Hold that tension in the neck, and you'll feel this in your upper back and shoulders. And you can even just very slightly elevate the shoulders, a little bit of retraction of the shoulders. So we're working the traps as well, tensing them up. It's all connected here in the neck and shoulders. And then we'll let that resistance go. And now bring your chin to your palm and try to lower your chin towards your chest. So this one you might feel more in the front of your neck. Hold that tension. I know it's a little awkward. Hold and breathe. You want to feel the muscles of your neck tightening up. Don't need to clench your jaw. You don't need to grind your teeth or anything like that. Just hold that tension. And then we'll let that go. Now hand to one side of your head. Doesn't matter which side you do first. Try to rotate your head. Remember that motion. Keep the hand there, creating resistance. So you're turning. If the hand was gone, your head would just turn, but the hand is stopping it. Tensing up the side of your neck with the rotational movement. And now the lateral movement, like you're trying to move your ear towards your shoulder. Resist there. And a little bit of an elevation of your shoulder here. Hold that tension. So again, you're telling your muscles that you're strong, you've got control, and that's actually going to allow them to relax more. Hold the tension and let it go. Now to rotate to your other side. Hand into the head, hold and resist. Couple breaths here. So ideally, it's at least 10 seconds, up to 30 seconds, 45 seconds at most. Just enough time to feel your muscles tense up. You really feel the mind-muscle connection there, the neuromuscular activation. You're sending the signals, electrical signals from the brain into the muscle to contract and say, I'm in control, I'm strong. And now the lateral flexion, hand to the side of the head, trying to move your ear towards your shoulder. Resist, hold that, shrug your shoulder a little bit. Hold the tension. And now let it go. And let's just see how it's changed. So chin towards the chest, chin towards the ceiling. Does it feel a little easier to move? Then go back to center, rotate left to right. Maybe a little less tension there. And now lateral flexion, side to side, ear towards the shoulder, maybe a little less tension there. And then the movement, sort of a drawing an O with the nose, noticing that, both directions. And finally, elevating and depressing, shrugging and unshrugging the shoulders, noticing how you feel. All right, so we're not going to solve all of our life's problems in one little session, but maybe you got a little bit of relief. And if you do that consistently, if you consistently have neck pain and you do this practice regularly, it's like whack-a-mole. You whack that mole, it goes away, and the tension goes away. Maybe it'll creep up somewhere else. That's the nature of life. We get tensions, but we don't have to live with them. We don't have to be stuck with them. We can address them when they arise and let them go with simple movements like this, just in a few minutes daily. So if you found this helpful, please leave a comment below and check out quietmind.yoga, where I've got full-length yoga classes, all styles, levels, and lengths, so that you can choose the class you need for your neck or shoulders. Or if you whack that mold and the tension comes up somewhere else in your body, you can go do that practice for the hips or the feet. And we'll continue this series of relieving tension from head to toes going on through the rest of the body. You can check that out here on my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and comment, and let me know what you want to see more of, and I'll make that in future videos. Hope you have a great rest of your day.